Luke here from Strengthenx, here with some training and nutrition tips on how I got into shape in just 12 weeks. Check this out. Here we go then guys, I'm Luke from Strengthenx. Johnny has been called off on urgent business to save the world, so I'm flying solo today. Got my substitute Johnny right here, this is Derek at the doorstop. He will do a good job. We're going to go over today how I got into shape in just 12 weeks. We're going to break it down into two parts, nutrition and training. So we're going to kick things off with nutrition. What did I eat, when did I eat it, and why? So what did I eat? I was eating in a calorie maintenance, and if you're not sure what that means, I recommend checking out a diet video up there. That covers how to calculate calorie intake, surplus, and deficit. Just check that video out for a bit more information on that. So the reason I was eating in a calorie maintenance was I wanted to see if just maintaining my calories, so not being in a deficit, but increasing my output would help me break down body fat. So theoretically, it is possible. I was eating about 3,000 calories a day on the days I was training, and I was reducing down to 2,800 on the days I wasn't training, normally 2 days of the week. The reason I was reducing was because I wasn't moving as much as I was on training days, so I don't need as much energy. Therefore, I was just reducing the carbs down by 50 grams to equate for that 200 calorie deficit. So macronutrients, what was I eating? Proteins, I was eating anywhere between 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per day. Again, the reason for that is in the video, so check that out. So the reason I was getting that 1.2 grams of protein was to maintain that muscle mass. That equates for me about 130 to 195 grams of protein per day, which equals about 780 calories. My protein sources tend to be meats, dairy products. Again, I'm not vegan or vegetarian, so I was eating chicken, any red meats. Also getting your fish in there is also a good source of protein. So for fats, I was aiming for about 33% of my daily intake to be from fats, which is about 110, 111 grams of fat per day, and that's 1,000 calories worth of fats. So out of those 3,000, a third of it is coming from fats. So a lot of people, again, fear fats because they make you fat, but they don't. They're a very good way to bolster your calorie intake. So my sources of fat, nuts, seeds, avocados, oily fish, anything you can get your hands on with that high fat content. Again, trying to avoid saturated fats, more unsaturated, mono and polyunsaturated fats, they're the best sources you can get really. The remaining of my daily calories were from carbohydrates. So that was equating to anywhere about 300, 310 grams of carbs per day. Main source of the carbs being oats, your fruits and vegetables have a lot of carbohydrates in them. And I'm not really a big fan of rice or potatoes, so I tend to stick more to brown pasta. I mean, the occasional portion of rice, but not actively. More pastas and fruits, veg, and oats. Best sources you can get really for carbohydrates. Right, so when did I eat all of these calories? I was very interested in to try a new diet technique, which was intermittent fasting, which I'm sure a lot of people watching this video would have heard of. I get a lot of clients asking me about intermittent fasting. Is it great for fat burning? And I honestly didn't know, so I had to research, did lots of research before I started this diet, and looked at the pros and cons. I thought I'd just test it out to see how well it worked. My feedback for this intermittent fasting is mostly positive, but probably not for the reasons you're thinking. What intermittent fasting is you have a 8-hour window where you can eat all the food in your daily diet, and then you have a 16-hour window where you have no food. And the reason for that is you're looking to get your body into a fasted state. So to get your body into a fasted state, you have to, for the first 8 hours from the point you eat, after that point, after 8 hours, your body's then digested any food you've eaten, and you then become into a fasted state. Then you will remain in that fasted state for anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. And the purpose of this is so that your body is then depleted of all carbohydrates. It then targets the fat storage to make up the energy you're lacking. So what the body's looking to do is basically shred through that body fat. That's the principle of intermittent fasting. I found it easy first 3 or 4 days. It was fine, apart from the hunger at the start of the day, which subsided after the first 3 or 4 days. The pros of not eating in the morning was A, I got to get a little bit later because I didn't need to have any breakfast. B, I didn't have to have gaps in between clients to eat food when I was hungry. I was just surviving on black coffee or decaf coffee and water. And that leads on to the third benefit, which was by the time I'd gotten home about midday to eat, I'd already had like a third, 2/3 of my water intake for the day. So it's something I didn't really need to worry about near the end of the day, which was brilliant. So what I was doing, I was waking up at like 5 a.m, working, coming home about 12, and then sitting and eating like 1,500 calories in one go, which I looked forward to, which means that my food was enjoyable. I really enjoyed eating like pretty much breakfast and lunch in a combined meal. So not only do I enjoy my food a lot more, having this short 8-hour window to eat was massively preventing me from snacking, because I was eating so much food at midday after I've been starved for 16 hours. I was really full up until about 4 p.m. when I'd have a small like 500 calorie meal before I left the house to go back to work. And then when I get home, I tend to eat again another 1,000 calorie meal at the evening. But because I was just so full in between those meals, I didn't really snack. Then I'm sleeping and then working. So that time period where that 16 hours tends to fly by, because I was working, sleeping, and the need to snack just wasn't there, which massively helps you keep those calories down. So if you are looking to lose weight or drop body fat, intermittent fasting, even if it doesn't work for your body composition to burn fat, it definitely stops you snacking a lot more, which means your calories will just naturally come down. So that's a great benefit. So training, what did I do for my training? It was very, very simple. Push, pull, legs. That was my basic breakdown. So Monday was push, Tuesday was pull, Wednesday was legs, and then Thursday would be my rest day. But on my rest day I was doing stretches, calisthenics, technical practice, so isometric holds, practicing my front levers, my human flags, my handstands, my planche holds, just different technical movements. Then on Friday I was doing a full body workout, so that was more just compound lifts, so deadlifts, bench press, squats, not too heavy, so I was looking about the 8 to 12 rep range, and nothing majorly heavy, more like hypertrophy training. And then on Saturday, I was then calling that like my free day. So that was a day where if something maybe I had a day where I wasn't as energetic as I normally am, I didn't get the best session I could have done on, say, pull, I would then sort of do a bit more of a pull session on that day, or push or legs, whatever it is I wanted to do. If I'd had a great training week, then I would then just do with more calisthenics movements like pull-ups and press-ups, practicing those, explosive movements, muscle-ups, just whatever it is that took my fancy that day, which again helped me get through that workout week, because I knew I had a free day that first of all to catch up on, or just to have a play around, which was brilliant. In terms of the breakdowns of the workouts, it was I tend to start off with a compound lift or 1 or 2 compound lifts. So push day, for example, would be military press, and then a flat bench press on a barbell or dumbbells, switching it up, alternating each week. And then I would do another chest superset, another shoulder superset, and then a tricep workout. Tends to be the rope pull downs, dips, anything like that. My workouts tend to be 45 minutes to an hour long each. Any more than that, you're going to risk of overtraining. As long as you keep your workouts consistent and targeted on the areas you're looking to work, there's no reason why you should be in the gym any longer than an hour. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you like, share and subscribe to our channel. Please, we need the support. And please check out our previous videos, nutrition playlist and a calisthenics workout playlist. And subscribe button is in the middle. And Johnny will be back next week. So make sure you give him a big welcome and checking out our next week's video. See ya!